Good morning, friends. This is our last week of the launch training. It's been really fun going over this with you. One thing that I'm excited about for this week is that as you get your people on LRP, that's where you'll really start to see your business grow. Because, if you have a month where you have a class and you have 5 enrollments, that's great and it's exciting. But, the next month, if none of those people are getting on LRP and you only get 3 enrollments that next month, your volume starts to not be as high and it gets frustrating. So what I always love to do is show you some of my tips and tricks for really supporting my team and showing them the value of the oils and how to use them. And it's important to remember you will have people that no matter what you do will never do LRP. But there are a lot of people that are feeding off of you and your energy and your passion for the oils until they develop their own. So it's really important that you feel excited about LRP yourself. And in fact, my number one tip for getting on LRP or having someone getting on LRP is that you love LRP and that you feel excited about it. Because if you feel kind of like, oh man, this is expensive, people can't afford this, that energy is going to transfer to your entire downline. And some people will still do it and it's all right, but you have people that'll sense hesitancy coming from you and they won't be sure what it is. And they'll be like, oh man, are the oils not good or what's, but if you're like, dude, you've got to do LRP, like that's going to come across to them and it's going to make a big difference. And here's an example. Yesterday I enrolled somebody and, I was explaining LRP to her real quick. I just said, you don't have to do this every month. One thing I love about LRP is that it's optional. You don't have to do it every month, but you will want to. I'm like, you're doing it next month because it'd be silly not to. And I could feel her be like, yeah, I'm going to do it next month because I want to get that free 100. If I would have said, oh, if you have the money, and she would have been, oh yeah, if I have the money, if I want, I'll do it. But instead it was like, no, you'd be silly not to do LRP next month. And I could feel her be like, yes, LRP. So I'm going to, oops, I can't minimize. Sorry, I'm always trying to figure out how to get my guide open. So, oops, and you know what I did, you guys? I clicked on the wrong one. I clicked on the live guide, which actually is just fine. We're going to go ahead and go with that, but I'm also going to do the launch training, which I need to actually open up. So we're going to try this again. So basically, bless my heart, right? I'm going to open this up real quick and then I will continue my thought because otherwise I'll start speaking gibberish. Hey, Rich, I'm doing a recording and he's mom life, right? My youngest son thinks it's really awesome to wake up at 5 a.m. And my last son also did this. Apparently it's a boy thing at my house. Wake up at 5 a.m. and then they're grumpy all day long. And I'm like, really? It's going to make me crazy. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see the whole thing. So we're going to make this bigger. So this week we are on support your team. So that's why I started to talk about LRP is that you've got, supporting your team is, what do you do after you enroll somebody? And for me, I really like to help get them supported. So here's how I run my business. This is kind of what business looks like for me. Whenever I moved to a new area and I moved to Kansas City, like a little over a year ago, almost a year and a half ago, and I decided to do a class right away. I was able to get 7 enrollments and then I did another class and it was a little bit trickier to get people there, but I would still get enrollments at my classes. Once I got to the point where with my personal warm market, it was a little bit difficult to get good attendance at class, I really switched to one-on-ones. So I definitely made contacts with people and my enrollment level has stayed the same, but my tactic had switched a bit. Basically it was if I found someone that was interested in the oils, I set up an appointment with them right then and there. And then once we'd get them enrolled, I'd invite them to host. And so right now where I'm at is I do a lot of one-on-ones and I do a lot of hosted classes. I don't do my own classes for myself unless I have run into a group of people that I know is going to want to attend. Otherwise, I just do one-on-ones. So that way we're not waiting forever for people to, I'm not waiting for people to, not waiting for enough people to have a class. So as soon as I enroll them, I do a wellness consult. And in fact, when I enroll them, that is when I say, okay, so what we're going to do is as soon as you get your oils, I want you to shoot me a text message and we're going to do a wellness consult or a lifestyle overview. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use your oils that you got. And then we can talk about some other things that you might like. And usually, honestly, if you're worried about the person, set the appointment right then and there. I've done that before too, where it's like, it's already on the calendar. We already have it set. Now at this lifestyle overview, I literally just go through this live guide. The first thing that I do is I go to doTERRA.com and I show them not every single, but I show them the resources. I'll say, under the shop products tab, you'll see that there's, a tab for the oils, the blends, the On Guard products. You can learn more about these products here. If you want to learn more about doTERRA, the story behind them starting, the owners, the science, you can click on our company. Our Caring talks about our humanitarian partnerships. And then I'll usually share a little bit about something that has touched me with co-impact sourcing or Healing Hands. And then I show them our advocates, and I show them, okay, look, if you go to the blog, and I always do this too, so I'm just keeping it real. Come on. I show them the blog, and I show them the product blog. I show them the business blog, the science blog. We go through the upcoming events, and then I show them the key things that I show them are the education. I show them doTERRA University, Empowered Life. And then I click on the Empowered Success tab, and we go through the live guide together. So basically I show them doTERRA's website, and I show them some resources. And then we go through the live guide together. I have a recorded wellness consult that I just did last week with Dr. Stephanie Davis. And if you'd like to hear it, I can actually, I'll just post it for you guys so you can see what I do during my wellness consults. But we just go through every single page. And first I invite them to tell me, to be healthy, you need to be balanced in all of these areas. You need to be eating, exercising, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll say, okay, so what area do you feel like you need the most support in? And I'll just say, okay, so you want to rest and manage your stress better. Got it. That's actually why I started oils too. So I love it. I can totally help. And then I'll explain that there are products that help with every single section. And so that's what we go over all of the sections right then and there. And then we go to the wellness consult where my computer is thinking. But you go through the wellness consult where I ask them to list their health priorities and what they want to use the oils for. And I go through and I help them understand how to use the oils that they purchased. And I'll say, I'll just say, hey, you mentioned you're not sleeping well. You've got lavender that's going to work really well. Or if you need more restful night's sleep, you could try Serenity or Serenity sleep capsules. So I help them create a daily regimen using what they have. And then I help them to create a wish list of things that they might like to get in the future. And then I go over the LRP program. This is when it is so key for you to be confident in the LRP. If you're feeling like, because I've talked to a lot of people that will say, I just can't, like so-and-so can't afford it, or they can't afford it, or you know what? Scott and Cheyenne Hathaway, like Scott once made the comment to me that he would buy frankincense before making his house payment because that's how important it was for their health and their family to have that oil in their home. And so there wasn't an issue of, I can't afford this. It's like, this is my priority. Like I will always have oils in my home. And that always stood out to me because both Scott and Cheyenne and myself were struggling financially when we both started doTERRA. Money was tight, and getting a kit was a sacrifice, and getting on LRP was definitely not something that was just like, oh, sweet, I'll just spend this extra money every month, because there was no extra money, but it became a priority for me. And I noticed that as I became more resolute in my love for the LRP, it was easier to get other people on it. So when I explain LRP, I will just say, listen, as you're using these oils every month and finding ways that you love them, you're going to want more. You'll run out and you'll find other things that you want to get. The LRP, the Loyalty Rewards program, is the best way to get the products because you're going to get them cheaper, and you're also going to get a really good discount. Or you're going to get points back every single month. It's really incredible. So basically, as long as you're spending 50 PV, which is about $50 every single month, you're going to be getting points back, and you're going to be increasing your percentage. And then we go over the chart together, and I'll say, the first 3 months you do this. So when you place your order in February, March, and April, you're going to get 10% back each month. And then in May, you're going to jump up to 15%. After a year, you're going to be getting 30% back. So like last month, I did 200 PV because I wanted a free frankincense. I got 60 points. That is $60 worth of oils for free just because I spent 200. It's awesome because that's where I'll get my toothpaste, my laundry soap, things like that. Or I'll get my really expensive oils. It's how I got my first bottle of Helichrysum. And we talked about that being really good for immune systems. That's how I got that first bottle. So I love it because you know, at the beginning I was getting new things, trying new things, and then it became I was replacing because I was always wanting to have the oils on hand. So the loyalty reward's awesome, and I'm actually more than willing to right now sit here and help you get this set up so that you can get your order ready for next month, because I know you mentioned you wanted several things. So if you'll be confident in your wording, it will make such a huge difference in getting people on LRP. And again, remember, there are some people that no matter what you do or say are not going to get on it, and that's okay. But do your best, be confident, and show them that you have ways to support them, and that's going to be really important. So we do the lifestyle overview, the wellness consult, and then I show them different tools and resources. So I'll invite them to any, my Facebook groups. I put them in two, or in one. I put them in Healthy Living Essential HLA product support. That's what I put them in. And then I also put them into an oil camp so they can learn more about their products. Because I want them to be connected and using the oils that they've got and being like, oh man, I didn't know I could do that with peppermint. That's so cool. So reach out to your upline and see if they're hosting an oil camp. And a lot of times your upline would love for you to help run the oil camp they're running. Now at the wellness consult, I always invite them to host a class. I'll just say, so as you've been sitting here, I noticed you mentioned your mom would love these, your sister or your friend, and I would love to do a class for you. We could just do an event at your home, or we could even do it at mine. And you can invite, 5, 10 of your favorite people, your friends or family, and we'll just go over the oils just like what we did when you attended a class. And in exchange for doing that, I'll be giving you a diffuser. So would you want to do that this month or maybe in March? I just throw out a couple of dates for them, invite them to do a class. Now, one key thing is if they're hosting for you, you want to make sure that they've got some skin in the game and something that they're feeling excited about. And so that's where I always will say, for hosting, here's your booking gift. Now, if you're able to get these results, you're going to get this in addition, because then they're feeling like, oh yeah, this is great. Now, if it's someone that wants to build, obviously there's more motivation for them. But that's where, after going through the lifestyle overview, if they want to do a class, then we go through the share guide. Now, after their class, we do the build guide and then the launch overview. So I take it step by step. The next part of the supporting week is the placement strategy. When you sign somebody up, you have 14 days to move them. And, a lot of times there is a tendency I've noticed for people to just want to put everyone on their front line, hurry and get their power of 3. You want to keep committed, capable business builders on your front line. Call them CCs, committed, capable business builders on your front line. You don't want to build for your mom. You don't want to build for your sister. You will go crazy. You will get frustrated. So you want committed, capable builders on your front line. Now, every last presidential diamond in doTERRA has a leg that they're doing a lot of work for. So I don't want you ever feeling like, and when I say presidential, I mean everybody in doTERRA has a leg that they're doing a lot of work for, or that may be MIA or not capable or committed to supporting their team. So don't want you beating yourself up and feeling like, oh, it's too late, all is lost. But just in moving forward from here on out, don't put somebody on your front line unless they're committed and capable. And that means they are ordering monthly without hesitation. They are hosting classes. They're driven on their own without you nagging them. So you'll notice it will take time to find these people. So that's why you find a committed, capable builder. You put everybody under that person. When you find your next committed and capable person, you start helping them build their team. But because you're building with, not for somebody who is committed and capable, they're going to hit a point very quickly that they can do this on their own, and then you focus on the next leg when you find someone who's committed and capable. Do not build for family, ever. Just don't. You'll get frustrated. You'll have your mom, your son, and it just gets irritating. Now, if you're already doing that, I am too. I have a leg, my sister that I build for, and I need her to hit silver for me to go presidential. And that's where it gets frustrating, is sometimes there's a little bit of strain on the relationship because her interest level isn't very high in building, but mine is my interest level in her hitting silver is very high. So don't build for family. What I would do is, and then if you're thinking, okay, well, so where do I place them? I know I'm going to put them in this leg. If you just sign up in a yoga instructor, put the yoga instructor under the other yoga instructor on your team that's building. Say you sign up someone from Texas, put your person in Texas under your other person in Texas. So geographical location is a huge thing for me, because a lot of times you think, oh, but I need the volume in this leg. Well, at the end of the day, you want really good unilevel and you want really good volume. And you not having to put in as much effort to support someone because someone else in the area can, frees your time up to get your other volume where you need it in your other legs. So those are huge things for me. I only put people on my front line that are like committed, capable level 10 builders. Like, I'm doing this. It's no matter what happens, no matter how many no-show classes I have, I'm going to do this business. And I keep them on my, keep them on my front line. And I love this outline. As your business partners, you put builders and sharers on your level 2, and then customers go on your level 3 and below. Just because somebody wants to order every month does not mean they're a builder. And I never recommend getting just 3 people on your front line for your power of 3. And the reason I don't is because you want to get your 250 and your 1500. And if you have just a solid, steady orderer on your front line, they're not going to get their 50. You'd have to do that for them. And then you'd have to get them their 250. It's not worth it. So focus on just keeping builders on the front, and then you'll be like, oh, did you look at that? I have my 50 and now I'm getting my 250, because your front line wants their 50. And your 50 will fall apart a lot easier because people may order really consistently for 3 years and then stop ordering. I've had it happen, or they drop their orders back, or they order less regularly. So you want to make sure that only committed and capable people go on your front line. So you have 14 days to move them. And that's why I love to have a good wellness consult with them first, to just see where they're at. Now, one strategy that you can do is to always enroll people as a wholesale customer. And the reason I do that is because if they upgrade after 3 months of enrolling, you have another 14 days to move them. So they may not be sure that they want to build yet. They may just want to use the product. And if they say at 60 days, I want to build, I'll say, that's so great. I will honestly, I'll just say, let's wait to upgrade you till then, so that I can, until this date, so I can get you in a perfect spot on my team. But in the meantime, let's get your class planned, and then we'll get you moved. So there's a difference between a wholesale customer and a wellness advocate. Wholesale customers are your customers. They can be both are moved 14 days after enrolling. When your wholesale customer upgrades to a wellness advocate and it's been 90 days, so if you want to change the placement after their first 14 days, their wellness advocate upgrade must occur 90 days after enrollment. You then have another 14 days to decide where to place them, which is awesome. And then I love that it says place customers on a team where they may have similar interests with others that they already know. Because a lot of times it's kind of like, oh, where do I put this person? Well, put them in places they're going to feel support and be excited. We all have a leg. We all have things on our team that we're like, oh man, I wish I could fix this or change this. So, everybody makes the comment to me, I've screwed up my team. No, you haven't. The beauty of this is you can move forward and you can move on, and it's okay. So one other important thing to understand is the difference between enroller and sponsor. So the enroller is the person that brought the person to doTERRA. It's like having a baby. That's my baby. And even if my baby moves away, they're still my baby, right? Where they move to, like physically leaving my house, could be their sponsor. That's their address. That's my daughter, but she lives in California. So just because she moves doesn't mean that she's not still my daughter. So I always just think of your sponsor is your physical address, who is directly above you. Now you can enroll and sponsor someone, but for me at this point, I have my 6 legs. So I'm no longer putting anybody on my front line. So I enroll them and they have a different sponsor. Now, when they enroll, I still get their 5% or 21% fast start, even if they're sponsored by someone different, as long as I have their enroller. Now, as far as how you get paid the same when you enroll someone, whether or not they're on your first level or your 5th level for fast start. You're going to get the 20% no matter where they are on your team. Where it changes is after they've been ordering for 60 days, then it goes to the regular unilevel structure where you get paid a certain percent depending on where they are in your organization. As someone's enroller, I feel like, again, it's like I think of it as parenting. It is my responsibility to make sure they're educated and that they're taken care of, because I'm the one that brought them into the business. So it's my responsibility. Of course, a sponsor can support them as well, absolutely. But ultimately I'm the one that brought them in. Now, a lot of times I'll tell someone, I will place this person under you if you're willing to take care of them and do these things, because, you know, you want to put them under someone who's going to help support them as well. So there's this whole page on finding your builders, and you'll notice it talks about committed and capable builders. A committed builder is going to completes the 3 steps in the build guide, where you're writing your names, you're setting your goal, and you're finding your why. And capable is somebody who is able to enroll somebody right away. So those are good little tests to decide if people are committed and capable. And I invite you to read through this page on finding your builders, because I think it's a really good page. And you can do a little exercise where you can write down who's relationship oriented or influential, who's goal oriented, self-motivated, ambitious. But this is going to help you to know who your committed and capable contacts are. And realize, if you get frustrated, it takes time. If you want to find builders, you've got to be enrolling, because statistics show that 1 to 2 of every 10 people will be interested in building the business. Now, of those 1 to 2 people, how many of them are going to be truly committed and capable? It's going to be less than that. And that's okay. For me, I found 4 people that wanted to do this in 2 years. It changed my life, changed my finances. So even if it takes you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. Now, it shouldn't take you 5 years to find 4 committed builders and capable builders, but you get the point, is that you're going to have increased odds of finding business builders the quicker that you enroll. And even if it takes a little bit to find the right people, it's worth it, because I love when I talk to someone that says, I have time to do this. I have time. So yes, once I find somebody that wants to build, we go over the business overview and I show them exactly what to do. And then I get them going on the launch training for sure. This does walk through about how to help them teach a class, what you want to do, and you can go through this in more detail. But basically, now that you've completed this launch training, you can invite other people to do the exact same thing. So you're going to find, teach, enroll people, and then you're going to be supporting them. So once you find someone that wants to enroll, you're going to do the wellness overview, consult lifestyle overview, and then you're going to invite them to share. And then if they do a class, you're going to invite them to build, and you're going to do the build guide with them. And then if they say yes, they want to build, you're going to plug them right into a launch training, just like what you guys did. You can send them to mine. These are recorded. You have access to them, and you can help them out. So we use oils, we share oils, and we teach others to do the same. It's basically what I do. This launch overview has definitely showed you what we do in our business and how to do it. And the really great thing is that there's wonderful guides that show you along the way. So as you hit Elite, there's a really great guide that will show you how to hit Premier and Silver. Now, I would recommend waiting to do the Premier and Silver training until you are a solid Elite. You know, we have months in doTERRA where it's BOGO month or it's December and volume's higher. I want you to be an Elite who is hitting Elite regularly without having crazy doTERRA incentives. And then once you're at that point, go ahead and do the Premier training, the train to Premier and Silver. So there's really good trainings that you can do. So thank you so much for being on our training with us. It's been really fun to do this and share the knowledge that I have of building the business. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here so I can see you again. Yes, I want to close my tabs. But it's been fun to be on here with you guys and helping you learn how to do more about how to do this business, because it's been really great. Cheyenne, I'm going to unmute you. Do you have anything you would like to share or anything to add?
Thanks, Jen. I think that you did an awesome job. There was probably just one thing that I mean, you did a good job of really talking about this point, but I was just going to say, as far as placements go, I feel like that's one thing that people stress out about a lot when they're building a business. And I just want to say, don't worry about, you know, what you've done in the past with placements. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, I made so many mistakes, there is not a single mistake that Jen and I have not made when it comes to placements. Me, probably more than Jen, but like this committed and capable thing, I think if this was something that we both, I feel like I had an aha moment on committed and capable in December. So, and a lot of these placements, oh, sorry. Jen talked about just today in December. So just move forward with these things in mind and know that you're doing awesome.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining in, and find people to plug into our trainings. That would be awesome for you so that you can get your builders to where you want them to be. You can be hitting silver and beyond. So yes, thank you so much.